Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my two obligatory informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And people have made me aware that Nick's G for P, who has strength and power in his name, went ahead and made a video finally talking about something besides a pro bodybuilder. Because what I can tell, his whole channel seems to be nothing but a shrine to professional bodybuilding. That's just my impression. My impression, having observed it, I could be wrong. That's just my perspective. That he couldn't even talk about a strength athlete, world's strongest man, multi-time winner, without discussing could he become a bodybuilder. Damn. So let me put on my +5 hat of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Because, I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, you guys are like, why are you giving Nick such a hard time lately? He seems like a nice guy. Yeah, he seems like a nice guy, but I kind of saw what happened with the Artemis Dolman or whatever his name is thing, and yeah, he's not really a nice guy that he pretends to be. Oh, he's absolutely not. He's sneaky. Good old tricky Nick. No, he's not a nice guy. He just plays one. But the reason I'm giving him a hard time is because he is promoting something that I consider to be extremely dangerous, extremely unhealthy, extremely negative, and he's glorifying it. Professional bodybuilding, I mean, let's be realistic here. If YouTube actually took their terms of service seriously, they say that you cannot promote illegal activity and you cannot promote self-harm. What is professional bodybuilding? Professional bodybuilding is a death cult built upon every single person involved in it committing multiple felonies every single day. In other words, in order to even compete in professional bodybuilding, you have to be breaking multiple drug laws on a daily basis. You cannot even compete without doing so. So to glorify professional bodybuilding is glorifying repeated felony behavior. That's what it's glorifying it. Not just promoting it, it's glorifying it. It's just somewhat indirectly, but it is a requirement, and it's a death cult. It causes self-harm. I mean, the self-destruction involved with it is mind-boggling. I mean, Dallas McCarver is the most recent example we've seen, and I may cover him later today, talking about just things in the online community that need to be discussed. But the fact is, he's promoting a death cult. I mean, if YouTube really literally took their terms of service seriously, even promoting professional bodybuilding would technically be a violation of their terms of service, because it's glorifying self-harm and it's glorifying committing felonies. It's glorifying it. And I don't even have a negative stance on anabolics, guys. I generally lean in the direction of I'd like to see them decriminalized. I think they should be treated like alcohol and cigarettes. That's just my opinion. Granted, that may not be a popular opinion, but that's how I feel. So I don't want people to think that I'm saying that, but the difference is pro bodybuilding is by default requires substance abuse. Not just use, not just casual use. It requires people to use extreme abuse amounts of illegal substances and controlled substances. It is a requirement in professional bodybuilding. It's not optional. So therefore, to even promote it, you're technically glorifying that. And that's what it is. And that's kind of the thing, the reason I joke around with the G4P thing, is we know the whole G4P thing is one of the big funding elements of professional bodybuilding. So, I mean, if you're going to be a fan of bodybuilding culture and bodybuilding subculture, you kind of have to be cool with, the whole G4P thing, because it's a big, big part of it. And that's the problem, is that you got Nick who glorifies this stuff, and it's like his channel's a shrine to it. And to me, it's just disturbing that a person is considered to be in the fitness world, the online fitness community, when they're glorifying something that is so opposite of fitness and so opposite of health, and really just it's wrong, fundamentally wrong on so many levels. And I know people don't want to hear like, oh my God, how can you say it? It's true, guys. I'm just giving my honest opinion. And that's the messed up thing, is that he can't stop talking about professional bodybuilding in a positive light long enough to even discuss a strength athlete while putting the name Strength and Power in his channel. He is such a fangirl to bodybuilding that has to be a whole topic of a video. And here's the thing, guys. I'm not a fan of the world's strongest man. Hey, I'm a strength athlete. I love strength sports. But I am also one of those people that say, yeah, bodybuilding is worse generally, but strength sports have our own set of problems. They have our own set of problems. And I don't necessarily glorify my own sport, even powerlifting, because there's substance abuse problems there. there are health problems. There, I mean, even the fact the knee wraps thing, knee wraps are destructive. And so, the fact that there are knee wraps divisions, even in my sport, that, again, require you to train with a device that will eventually damage your joints. And knee wraps will hurt you eventually. They will injure you over time. I'm not cool with that, and I'm not always cool with the amount of substance abuse, and it's a problem. And I'm the first to admit, hey, this is a problem, even in my own sports and the sports that I love and partake in. And the world's strongest man is not healthy, it's not fit, and I'm personally glad that Eddie Hall finally decided to get out of it. He's won his world's strongest man enough times that he's shortened his lifespan. And I know he said that in an interview. I saw that in an interview in the UK that he did, that, he knows that he's shortened his life. And now he's going to drop body weight down. He talked about going back into swimming or whatever. He was actually quite a good swimmer before he got into strongman. And, I'm glad to see that, because I don't want the guy to die young as a result of what he's done. And, he was on the road to doing that. And he said that he knows he shortened his life, getting to like that 500 kilo deadlift, that he knows he probably shortened his lifespan doing that. It took a toll on him. It took a toll on him. And so I, for one, am glad that a guy like that, who has all that ability and talent and everything else, kind of got his glory, got his wins, said, okay, I need to drop my weight. I need to be healthier. I don't need to be walking around 400 plus pounds. I need to trim down. And, I'd legitimately like to see the guy drop to 220, 230, be nice and healthy, and fit, and hopefully go on to live a healthy life. After all the weight he carried, all the maybe the stuff he abused, I genuinely hope the guy goes on to live a healthy lifestyle, and hopefully doesn't suffer serious consequences for this. Because, again, as much as I love strength sports and I think it's awesome that a guy could become world's strongest man, I also look at that and go, man, the toll on your body is just that's the aspect of it I can't support, and we have to talk about it. We have to talk about that. If we want to really be fans of this stuff, we've got to be honest with ourselves and say, hey, being the world's strongest man isn't healthy, not good for you, and it takes its toll. So I might say, hey, that's awesome that he had the perseverance and ability to do that, but by that same token, I also say, hey, man, enough is enough. You've proved your point. You've won. All right, you need to come down and worry about your health and your life, brother. You have to at this point. You got to give that stuff up so that you don't die. And so the idea of then someone like Nick's G4P jumping up and taking someone who is very possibly already shortened his life doing this, and even suggesting, I think he could get involved in something that is just as dangerous, if not more dangerous to his health than something he already did for years that he needs to back away from, that rubs me the wrong way. Because I really and truly cannot stand professional bodybuilding. I think it is a complete negative with very, very few positives to the world, and I really feel that way. I think it's just completely destructive, and I think it even hurts the fitness community itself. Its very existence does. Is glorification here. And so, for me, I was happy to hear that someone like Eddie Hall is going to go ahead and try to be healthier at this point, and not worry about being world's strongest man anymore. Not that he's not a very talented athlete, but it was time to reel it in. He's got a wife to think, we've got a family to think about. You've got to put that stuff to the side sometimes and focus upon what really matters in life. And I was glad to see that. And so for Nick to jump up and start talking about, I think he could be a successful bodybuilder. As he put it, as an amateur, he didn't think he could make it as pro. But it's like, it's not, sorry, man, he could be a pro bodybuilder, he just couldn't be Olympia. But, the whole point is that it's almost like Nick is like, I think he could go on ahead and just join this other death cult and just go ahead and just die. That's what I hear when I say that. Because, again, people say, that's harsh, Jason. Why are you taking that viewpoint? Because that's how I view bodybuilding. It is nothing but a big suicide cult and death cult. And I think no person who gives a damn about themselves or their health would even get involved in it. And I think anyone who is even promoting it, I question their ethics to even promote it. I really do. I really do. And so to me, I didn't like the fact that Nick even really went there. He should have said something. If Nick was really a good person or a responsible person or knew anything about the world or life, instead of being a silly-ass kid and a fangirl to bodybuilding, he would have said, no, man, I think this guy needs to go ahead and be healthy, and no, don't go into bodybuilding at all, man. You've done enough damage to yourself. You've heard, doing the whole world's strongest man. You should just be healthy and fit and live your life. That would have been the responsible thing to say, but instead, I think, he's got a lot of muscle and he could, it's like, Nick, you need to just admit that what you're promoting is bad and it's unhealthy and that it hurts people. Bodybuilding at the, particularly the professional level, even the NPC level, is dangerous. It's harmful. It hurts people. It's a bad thing. So I would have rather him said, no, I think this guy should just go ahead and be healthy, Nick's strength and power. But instead it's, Nick's G4P bodybuilding shrine. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I didn't like it. I didn't care for the fact that he even went there. And in general, I'm just disapproving of the direction that Nick has taken his channel as promoting this horrific, unhealthy lifestyle and glorifying it as something that needs to be talked about in a positive manner. I honestly think no one should ever have a positive spin on professional bodybuilding. I think it's one of the most horrific things to ever touch upon the edges of the online fitness community. It has no business in the fitness world. It is anti-fitness. It has no business being here at all. And it needs to just be called what it is. Alright guys, well that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I will talk to you guys next time.